Right, let's have a quick recap of provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. Let's focus on provisions. So we bring something into the accounts, debit expense, credit provisions in liabilities. And we can only bring a provision in if it is probable, okay? If it's not probable, then it's a contingent liability. That's when it's possible that we might have to pay. So if it's probable that we're going to have to pay something, it's a provision, debit expense, credit liability. If it's only possible we're going to have to pay something, it's contingent liability. And what you do with the contingent liability is you don't bring it into the accounts, you just disclose it. Okay, so a provision, what you want to do in your exam is go through the scenario and ask yourself, question number 1, is there an obligation? Question number 2, is it probable that we'll have to pay? And question number 3, can we put a reliable estimate on it? You need all 3 things for it to be a provision. So you need an obligation, which could be a legal obligation or a constructive, something that you always do. So Marks and Spencer's, for example, always take clothes back after you've worn them, no matter what. So even though they're not legally obliged to give back money, they are constructively obliged. People expect it, so they can bring in a provision for returns because they've got an obligation, it's probable that it's going to happen, and they can put a reliable estimate on how much that provision is going to be for the year. So once you know there's a provision, you need to then sometimes measure it, and you measure it at your best guess, your best estimate, which will either be the most likely outcome or the expected value. You use the expected value when there's a large range of possible outcomes, most likely outcome when there's only a small population of outcomes. And so most likely outcome is when you have less uncertainty because there's less number of possible outcomes. Always use discounting if it's in the future, if it's material amount, and you discount it down at the pre-tax rate in the exam, okay? So, best estimate, most likely outcome or expected values when it's a large range of possibilities, most likely outcome when it's a small range of possibilities and therefore there's less uncertainty. So what about this one then? You are being sued. There's a 95% chance we have to pay out 0.1 million and a 5% chance that we have to pay out 1 million. So I'd say here there's a small range of possibilities. There's less uncertainty because it's pretty likely we're going to have to pay 0.1 million. So you'd go to the most likely outcome there, I think. I have done a little blog post for you on when to use most likely outcome and when to use expected values. Okay, moving on. Contingent liability and contingent assets, when something possibly might happen. So if it's possible, what you do with a contingent liability is you disclose it. When it's a contingent asset, we need to be a little bit more cautious, so we do nothing. If we're probably going to bring in money, well, it's no longer a contingent liability, it's a provision. But with a contingent asset, if it's probable that we're likely to bring in money, then you just disclose it. You don't bring in the asset unless you're virtually certain. So can you see on the contingent asset, it's always that bit more difficult because we are being a little bit more prudent.